Hello and welcome to Piano Shack with me, Woody. Thanks for tuning in. Today we are going to do something completely new and I think it will be a lot of fun. I've been enjoying playing along to backing tracks I made with Band in a Box, and I thought that maybe we could do that together or at least take turns to play. So here's the idea then. I'll play along first to a short backing track and give you some ideas and suggestions then about what to play. And then it'll be your turn. We'll play the same backing track again. I'll shut up and I'll display the chords on the screen so that you can play along. I'm pretty sure that you'll find this to be a fun way to practice playing accompaniments, improvising and coming up with melodies. The songs themselves are going to be really simple with simple chords and a slow tempo, so they're really suitable for beginners. But that doesn't rule out more advanced players. You can also try playing along with these tracks, but try and do more advanced harmonies, voicings and embellishments. Today I'll be playing on piano, but you can of course play along to these tracks on whatever instrument you like. You can also join me on piano or play guitar, bass, saxophone or whatever you like. In future videos I might even have a go at playing guitar or bass myself, just to show you that you can play along no matter what your level of ability is. Today we'll do two different backing tracks to test out the concept and get some feedback from you if this is a fun concept and something that you want me to do more of in the future. And you know what? You don't even need a real instrument to participate in these play-alongs. That's right, maybe your instrument is at home and you're commuting or you don't yet have a piano or a guitar, but don't worry, because what you can do is sing a melody, either out loud or in your head, hum it perhaps, because great melodies come from in here, not from your fingers. Sure, your fingers can learn licks and riffs and small tricks that you can throw in, but a great improvised line or a fantastic memorable melody comes from up here. You have to hear it in your mind first before you can translate it to your fingers or whatever instrument you might be playing. Okay, that's enough chit chat. Let's get on with it. Okay, let's break down what I was doing there then. When you look at this piece to begin with, it might be a little bit bewildering, a lot of chords on the screen at the same time. But if we look closely and break it down, you can see it's actually quite simple. This is an A-A-B-A song structure. So if we look at the first 8 bars here, 1A, you'll see there's 8 bars there that are actually repeated more or less the same here in this next section, except for this note here, the C chord at the end, that leads into the B section. That's what we have here with the D minor chords. Slightly different structure. It's very common to have an A-A-B-A structure in pop songs, country songs, and jazz songs. You see it all the time. And after the B section then, as the name implies, we're back into the A section, which is the same as what we had in the beginning of the song. So there's not that many chords to remember here really. You've just got to remember the A section and the B section and you're good to go. And this one is in the key of F. So relatively simple chords here, but you might find them quite challenging depending on your ability to play some of these B flat chords. But I'll show you very quickly what all the chords are for this piece. And I'm very well aware that there's many different viewers of all different abilities watching this. So I'm not going to dwell too much on the easy stuff right now, but I hope to cover a lot of these topics and ideas that I'm using to play this accompaniment in a series of videos coming up pretty soon. So anyway, for the F, the most simple form you can do is probably just the F and the fifth. Put the bass note in if you like, if your left hand wants something to do. I find it more comfortable and easier to anchor the root with my left hand when you're forming other chord variations with the right. So there's your simplest form of the F. You can add the major third there to get the basic triad sound. For the B flat, you can play up there, or an inversion down there to get a smoother transition. I need to do a video on major triads and minor triads and chord inversions because they are the most important thing in learning how to play these kind of pop accompaniments. So there's your F. D minor looks like this, as I was playing it. There's your C, of course, and there's your B flat. Again, you could play it up here as well, which might be easier if you're a beginner. It's all good. If that's too much of a struggle, just play the root notes of each chord just to get going, just to familiarize yourself with where these notes lie on the piano keyboard. You could do that at the fifth. And then try and find a rhythm as well that you like. Now that F is held down for 2 bars there and there, and that's quite a struggle, quite challenging to know what to play when you're holding down the same chord for so long. But what I did was to alternate up to the C there. Hold down the F in the left hand, just play a C as a passing chord to lead into the D minor. Okay? And I embellished it a little bit more when we got onto the second repetition of the A part. I was doing some here's a nice rundown you can do on the F. I'm basically playing a F and then a C and then a B flat whilst keeping the F bass all the time. And just hearing melody notes that I'm playing with my little finger. See what I'm doing there? So I'm playing the major, minor and major triads, but finding a little melody to do with the pinky on my right hand there. Now, when we got to the B section, I changed to using some arpeggios that went like this. I think that's what I was doing. So that's just basically a D minor shape, D, A, E, and then playing the ninth. I like to do that a lot. It gives the arpeggios a really rich sound. So that's your E. It's the second note in the D minor scale. Same thing for the E flat. B flats. This would be a good topic for a tutorial as well, I think, a lesson. This is a really nice sound. And then we're back to the A section for the last time. And here I was really adding a lot of fancy stuff. With my left hand, I'm playing power chords, the F and the C. Again, hearing melody notes to play with the right. I bet it played a different inversion, I think. Just some little arpeggios to lead into the D minor. You heard me doing that a lot, I think, as well. Instead of just playing a straight C, I'm playing a leading into that E with a trill, I suppose you could call it. Same thing there. And That's my Elton John lick. That's something I want to explain to you as well. We won't dwell on it now. I'm basically changing, keeping the F in the bass, but jumping up to a fourth above, which is the B flat. Okay, so there was a variety of different tips there, something for the beginners, something for the more advanced players as well. But don't be discouraged if you didn't follow with what I was doing there. Just keep it simple to your level of ability. Have fun. And it doesn't matter if you're just playing, just outlining the root of the chords. That's fine as well. And then just see if you can add the triads, and find a nice rhythm to groove along with. Okay, that's enough. I'm sure you're itching to try this yourselves now. So let's play this track one more time without me waffling on or playing. I'll change the layout to fill up the entire screen so you can really see the chords. And we'll play through this one more time and you can try yourself. And I will make a slightly longer version with 3 or 4 repeats available on my website as a MP3 that you can download and try it out yourself. And don't be discouraged if it doesn't sound so great in the beginning. You might need to play this over and over again before the chords and the harmonies really sit in your mind and in your fingers. Okay, how did you get on? Did you find that to be quite difficult? I'm not surprised. No matter what your ability, I think this is quite challenging to sit and perform accompaniments, or you can even practice doing a solo if you like over the top of it, but it's quite challenging to do that, especially in this arrangement when we've got no melody being played, there's no singer, there's no guitar solo or anything, so your piano comping and accompaniment is way in the foreground, more noticeable than it normally would be, and that puts a bit of pressure on you to make it sound interesting and not get too many wrong notes. So I totally understand if it's challenging. When I was practicing this myself, I had to play through it probably 20-30 times just to get a feel for the chord progressions, what chords to play and what passing chords I should be playing. So don't get discouraged if it was difficult the first time. Just keep practicing. Download my MP3 version, which is slightly longer, and just have a blast. It's a lot of fun to play along with this. I love the way the drums and the bass groove together, and it's fun to try and lock in with your piano parts. Okay, let's move on to the next song that we're going to do today. Okay, here we have another quite simple song played at a slow tempo, so this is also good for beginners, but there are a couple of tricky chords in here, as you may have spotted, at least for a beginner piano player. We've got some chords here in a very guitar-centric key signature. The key signature here is A, so let me show you very quickly the chords here. We have I'll play the root in my left hand. There's your A major triad. If that's too much for you, you can skip the third there. It sounds nice if you can play that as well. You really need to learn your basic triad chords, major and minor, and that'll get you 90% of the way there. You can either play it straight. Sometimes I was arpeggiating a little bit, playing the notes separately. Here's your D. Again, I'm using an inversion of D to get a very smooth transition. Otherwise, if you don't know your inversions, just play your regular D major triad up there. Back to A. We got the F sharp minor. That's going to be challenging for many of you, I'm quite sure. Looks like that. B7, you can play like this. What a really pretty chord. There's your regular B. There's a B7. And then E, I'm playing in this inversion. There's a normal E triad. And then down to the E7. Okay, let's play through those chords just one more time. I like to play the root and fifth with my left. Try and find a good groove. Here's a nice trick. Okay, well, I think there's a C sharp minor coming up. Let's carry on. There you go. Back down to the F sharp minor. And when I'm playing, just to give you some ideas what to do, it's quite a slow tempo song. The chords are hanging on for a long time. If we look at that first A, go back to the top. I'm doing the Elton John trick there. Up to the D. Just adding some arpeggios to make it more interesting as we're holding down these chords for a long time. And again, if I hear some interesting melody in my mind that I can translate to my little finger here, like here. So I'm just using my little finger, which is normally free doing nothing, to something like that. You could even practice, if you're up to it, if you want a challenge. Let me transpose my keyboard. You can play the triads in your left hand. This is really fun if you can do it. And improvise with your right. Let me do a little bit of that for you. You can basically use here a little trick. You can use the A pentatonic scale all the way through. The A pentatonic scale is... sounds something like this. Okay, you've got to remember that this is also a practice for me. Well, I'm not just showing you what to do or training you now. This is also practice for me. I've been playing these songs myself for the last evening or two and just enjoying myself. To be honest with you, I haven't practiced piano myself very much at all in the last 15 years. That the last period when I really practiced hard at playing the piano was way back in 2002, 2003. Since then I've been playing a bit of guitar, a bit of bass, and not really playing very much piano at all. So this is my opportunity as well to practice, and that's why I think I called the video something like Let's Practice Together, because I'm practicing. That wasn't perfect. I heard there were flaws there, but just to give you an idea how you can use the pentatonic scale there, which works over the entire song. So if you can, just have a go at playing chords with your left hand and improvising a melody with your right. It's really good fun. And once again, I will make a longer version of this piece available over on the website woodypianoshack.com. But now it's your turn. I've been waffling for ages, more than I intended to, but now let's play this once more, and it's your turn. So how did you get on with this song then? Did you find it easier or harder? There were less chords here, but I'm sure that F sharp minor and the C sharp minor were giving a few of you problems. And that's okay. I totally expect that to be the case. But just try this song over and over again, and eventually you'll get the hang of it. I'm quite sure about that. It does take time to play some of these performances, and as I've said, don't be discouraged if you find it difficult the first time, because I've had to play through these myself several times just to get them sounding remotely good. And as always, you can download the sheet music for these and the MP3 files over on my website if you want to practice with a slightly longer version and without having the YouTube video up in front of you. I think these backing tracks are a really fun way to practice because they sound pretty good just by themselves, and you don't need to do very much. You can play really simple stuff and it still sounds fine, which is quite an inspiring and motivating thing, I think, even if you're a beginner, and you can have a lot of fun and satisfaction from playing these. But do let me know in the comments what you thought. I'd love to get some feedback from you. Again, was this lesson too difficult, or was it too easy for you? Just let me know what kind of things you want to see in the future. Did you enjoy that? Did you play along? How did you get on? I'd love to know, so please do let me know in the comments. Perhaps there's a way we can share our improvisations and performances with each other. If you have any ideas, then let me know. I will make PDF versions of the sheet music and slightly longer MP3 backing tracks available for a free download over on my newly launched website, which is, of course, woodypianoshack.com. Go there and check it out and download the tutorial bundles if you want. It's completely free. That's all I had for today. Thank you ever so much for watching, subscribing, liking, sharing, and leaving comments. I'll see you again soon. Cheerio.